In the heart of Eastern Europe, perched on the edge of the Black Sea, lies Romania, a country that has quietly but determinedly positioned itself as one of NATO's most pivotal hubs. The story of how Romania became NATO's next major base of operations is a tale of strategic foresight, historical shifts, and the rapidly changing dynamics of global security. It's a story where geography, economics, and politics collide to create a new center of power that will shape the future of NATO, the Black Sea region, and the balance of power between the West and Russia. To understand Romania's rise to prominence, we must first look at its most important asset: location. The Mihail Kogălniceanu Air Base, MKAB, nestled near the Black Sea port city of Constanta, sits just 400 kilometers away from Crimea, Russia's key stronghold in the region. Since its illegal annexation of Crimea in 2014, Russia has significantly expanded its military presence in the Black Sea, turning the region into a contested zone of influence. Romania's proximity to this flashpoint, combined with its membership in both NATO and the European Union, has made it an ideal location for NATO's strategic pivot towards the east. While plans to upgrade MKAB began before Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine, the conflict has injected new urgency into the project. The Romanian government, alongside NATO and US defense strategists, is pouring 2.5 billion euros into the expansion of MKAB, turning it into the largest NATO military base in Europe. By 2030, the base will be able to host up to 10,000 troops, advanced fighter jets, drones, and strategic bombers, offering NATO a direct line into one of the most volatile regions in the world. But what does this mean for Romania? Economically, politically, and strategically, Romania is set to become a linchpin of NATO's future operations, not just in Europe, but potentially in the broader Middle Eastern and Central Asian theatres. This isn't just about military might, it's also about economics. Let's step back and consider the economic implications of Romania's transformation into NATO's Black Sea stronghold. The influx of investment into MKAB, alongside broader defence spending, is an economic game changer. Romania has committed to increasing its defence budget to 19 billion euros in 2024, far exceeding NATO's spending target of 2% of GDP. This is money that will not only fund military upgrades, but also pump billions into the Romanian economy. Local industries, from construction to technology, are benefiting from defence contracts. For instance, Romanian firms have been enlisted to work on infrastructure at MKAB, including the expansion of runways, building new fuel depots, and constructing hangars for advanced aircraft. Beyond direct military spending, the base expansion has spurred investments in housing, schools, hospitals, and other infrastructure to support the thousands of NATO personnel and their families who will be stationed there. By the time the base is fully operational in 2030, the surrounding region will resemble a bustling town, complete with modern amenities that will drive further economic growth. The economic benefits go deeper. Romania's defence industry, once neglected, is experiencing a renaissance. Rheinmetall, the German defence giant, is building a state-of-the-art gunpowder factory in Romania, financed in part by the European Commission. This project, estimated cost at 400 million euros, is a signal that Romania is not just a host for NATO forces, but is becoming an integral part of the European defence production chain. By ramping up domestic production of NATO standard artillery ammunition, Romania is positioning itself as a key supplier in the continent's growing defence economy. For Romania, this transformation also carries enormous political weight. It's not just about becoming a NATO outpost. It's about becoming a central player in the alliance's future strategy. Oana Popescu-Zamfir, a leading analyst at the Global Focus Center in Bucharest, argues that Romania's geopolitical importance extends far beyond the Black Sea. With the exception of Turkey, we are the closest to existing and potential theatres of operations, she says. Romania's proximity to conflict zones in Eastern Europe, Central Asia, and even the Middle East makes it a launchpad for NATO's defensive and offensive operations in a volatile and unpredictable world. This strategic importance also boosts Romania's diplomatic standing within NATO and the European Union. As Romania's military and defence infrastructure grow, so too does its influence in international decision-making circles. The base expansion at MKAB isn't just about defence. It's about Romania taking a seat at the table where the future of Europe's security will be decided. However, Romania's growing prominence hasn't gone unnoticed by Russia. The expansion of NATO's presence so close to Russian borders has sparked a series of warnings from Moscow. Russian Senator Andrei Klimov has openly declared that the larger and closer a NATO base is to Russia, the more likely it is to become a target in any future conflict. There won't be any benefit for Romania from this, Klimov warned in March 2024. And there will be more threats. This is a fact. These threats are not new. Russia has long bristled at Romania's close ties with NATO. In 2016, after Romania installed a US missile defense system at Devezelu, Russian President Vladimir Putin threatened countermeasures, claiming that US missile installations in neighboring countries were unacceptable provocations. Yet, despite Russian rhetoric, Romania has remained steadfast in its commitment to NATO and to expanding its military capabilities. The country's defense modernization program, which began after Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014, has accelerated rapidly in the wake of the Ukraine war. Romania has invested heavily in advanced weaponry, acquiring F-16 fighter jets, HIMARS missile systems, and Patriot missile batteries from the United States. These acquisitions, alongside the development of MKAB, signal Romania's intent to be more than just a passive participant in NATO's Black Sea strategy. It intends to be a proactive leader in regional security. But there's another layer to Romania's rise that we can't ignore: political stability. Unlike some of its neighbours, Romania has remained politically aligned with NATO and the EU, with little internal resistance to its pro-Western foreign policy stance. Popescu-Zamfir notes that when it comes to foreign policy and security options, there's a cross-cutting consensus that Romania has only one viable path: to align as closely as possible with the EU and NATO. This unity has allowed Romania to weather potential destabilization efforts from Russia, which has allegedly attempted to influence far-right political movements in the country as it has elsewhere in Europe. As Romania approaches its presidential and parliamentary elections, some fear that Russia could intensify its efforts to intervene. However, experts believe these efforts will likely fail. The Romanian public overwhelmingly supports the country's NATO membership, and there is broad consensus across political parties that Romania's future lies with the West and not with Russia. This stability has made Romania a reliable partner for NATO, and the expansion of MKAB will only strengthen its position in the alliance. Looking ahead, Romania's transformation into NATO's next major hub is set to reshape the security dynamics of the Black Sea region and beyond. As the construction at MKAB progresses, Romania's role in regional and global security will only grow. The base's strategic location gives NATO unparalleled access to not just Eastern Europe, but also potential conflict zones in Central Asia and the Middle East. The economic benefits of this transformation are already being felt, and by 2030, Romania will have firmly cemented itself as a critical player in NATO's evolving security architecture. In the broader picture, Romania's rise is a testament to the country's strategic vision and its ability to adapt to the rapidly changing global landscape. It is no longer just a buffer zone between the West and Russia. It's a frontline state, ready to take on a leading role in ensuring the security of Europe. The billions of euros being invested in MKAB and Romania's broader defence sector are more than just financial commitments. They're symbols of Romania's determination to shape its future as a key player on the world stage. And as NATO continues to adapt to new challenges, Romania's place in the alliance is secure, both as a military powerhouse and an economic engine for the region's security and stability. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Romania's rising geopolitical importance and the expansion of the MKAB airbase, make sure to hit the like button, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more stories on global security, geopolitics, and military strategy. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.